Hello everyone, how are you? Hope all is well with you all and you and your families are doing okay. So guys, I've been itching to jump on this topic for some time. I just didn't get the time to do it. Circumstances, as they would say, life gets in the way. It's about my most favorite TikToker, Britannia Goffe. I feel so sad about her condition. Mental health is no joke. Can you imagine being at the top of your game on social media, TikTok to be exact? Then overconfidence and ego gets in your way of stardom. So much so that you get so entitled and disrespectful to the very same people that are keeping your account fat, the same fans that are putting you at the top. She has learned a hard lesson in how to handle power. Only thing you need when you have power is humbleness. It makes you see things so much clearer. Then be respectful and respect yourself. Another very unfortunate but important lesson to learn is that anywhere too much Jamaicans are gathered, it will eventually get toxic because they are mostly toxic by nature. And when you see them befriending you, be afraid. Be very afraid. Because once you make them pass over that threshold into the front seat of your life, you better brace yourself for what will come. It's not a maybe, it's a must. Many of the top TikTokers we still see today who are doing fairly well right now, they climbed on Britannia Goffe back. They befriended her, then through her own doing as well, overthrew her. And then to add insult to injury, they helped to finish tear apart. I did a whole story on all of that some time ago when I saw what was happening to Britannia and identified some of the main characters that were her downfall. I am going to put it into the insert at the end of this video so you guys can get a more in-depth understanding on how Britannia fall from grace. She was a contributing factor, but the people that befriended her was her main disappointment. And remember, she was desperate to belong and think these people were her friends. Because by the time Britannia realized what was happening, she started acting out because she was hurt and disappointed. And then she take it out on her followers, her subscribers, and her supporters. And that just made everything rather worse for her. And of course, these so-called TikTok friends that she gained, they just threw her under the bus and just used her as a topic for them to climb on and just made things even rather worse, while gently taking away her friends, her fans, and her fame. Poor Brit. By the time she was trying to change and to take control, she had already lost the status that she had gained on TikTok. Just bear in mind, people do move on. And once they were gone, they were gone. Of course, there were people that may pop in just to see where she is right now. you know. But mainly, she had lost her biggest fans. You have to take into consideration, that Britannia was never 100% upstairs, She had some kind of mental health issues going on already. And even some of it was acting up to make it even look even more than it was when she needed to. But the thing is that she was not mentally right. In her bid to get back her status, she evolved and went from changes to changes. She tried many different personalities, but that status was gone and it wasn't coming back. One and few people like myself that liked her for her old persona from the beginning before she get toxic and get caught up in all these melee. We'll check in on her from time to time, but sometimes people don't want to just being toxic every day and being disrespected every day, and that is where she lose a lot of points on. And each time you see her, you could just tell that she's just frazzling away bit by bit, but still popular because remember, should have been known already. And of course, people be curious and still go to our live and still check out what is going on, but the support, it wasn't there. And of course, you have those curious cats that want to know where she is now, like, because she was so famous and she was making all this money, like what had happened to her, because they had already known that she had fallen from grace. Eventually, mental health totally took her over, and you can see she was trying to fight it off. But when a mind is not well, it's a bigger fight than just you on your own trying to stay strong. And the wickedest thing about all this is that there are people there just waiting to take advantage of the fact that Britannia used to be famous, and look what is happening to her now. And now want to use this fact to get people attention in terms of saying, yes man, let's see if we can help Britannia. Join me and see if we can put something together and do something for her. And of course, there are people that would have still had a soft spot for her, but just gave up because of her own attitude and aura. They'll be willing to help. And these people who are scammers, they know this. Because really and truly, the whole plan is for them to help themselves. Britannia was never priority in their equation. Now here we have Zozo. He came on the scene as Britannia Goffe's boyfriend. She introduced him as such, and she introduced him to the world via our TikTok. He made her smile. He made her had fun. The funny thing about it, throughout all the time, is the first we really see somebody that come around her that was making her happy, making her smile, letting it seems like, she have another little person there for herself, her own little friend, The funny thing is that he was just in time for this whole crisis to come crashing in. So in reality, he seemingly is her savior. Remember, all of this is playing out on social media, because these people, their whole lives is on TikTok. And every breath they take, they come to TikTok. Everything they do, it is done on TikTok. So basically, you get to know the ins and outs what is going on. So because we see how he made Britannia happy, he has scored points with the social media supporters. But bear in mind, trust and believe this. No one can act like a Jamaican that is benefiting from a hype. Anyway, Britannia Goffe says Zozo is her man, and to be honest, it's good to see someone around her guiding her because she was always alone and so-called TikTok friends just used and abused her. Not saying she not still being used, but it's beneficial for both as she will have someone by her side as a friend and a mate. As before Zozo, Britannia had no one because Britannia came out and alleged that all her mother did was to rob her of her social media money. Her brother beats her and all this played out on social media because when they had the big brawl with her brother and all that, it was on social media. You could hear the drama, you could see what is going on. It was one whole banger and it was a lot. So it's not like something she's just telling us, it's something that everything they bring to social media while it is going on, record is running, real live event. We could always see where there were elaborate fights with she and her family. And when anything happened to her on the road or away from home, no family steps in to try to help her in no way possible. So it was refreshing to see Zozo in her life as her man. That we see he come take charge, looking after her, making sure she go have a bath, making sure she put on her clothes, making sure she eat, making sure she's safe. Someone who cares for her. If she on the road, he make sure say him go check on her and make sure that him nearby to make sure that she's okay. So really and truly, who cares if he benefits from anything that is meant for Britannia? He would deserve it. As long as there is something there to benefit, he should benefit. Now Britannia descended into a manic state of depression and had to be admitted in the hospital. Of course, Zozo made sure to get her in the hospital. Run up and down, get all her amenities, a nighty gown, wash rag, toothbrush, toothpaste, toiletries, clothing, slippers, stuff that you need in the hospital, and whatever else they ask for. Would you believe in the meantime there were these two Jamaican alleged trans refugees? The he-she duo was there on social media collecting money in aid of going to Jamaica to look after Britannia, to take her to hospital. Collected money for plane fare and stay and money to aid Britannia. I swear you can't get much wickeder than that. Then the gullible givers were sending on money enough. Of course, they all wanted to be a part of the hype and asked if the he-she never capitalized on Britannia's low point, only for the he-she to take all that money and go do her body. This got to be studied. Social media brings out the wickedest of the wickedest set of people and scammers, all kind of scammers. All this time the he-she can't even travel but collecting money to go to Jamaica to help Britannia. I can't. From I was birthed, I'm telling you, say, these people on social media, these heartless people that will do anything for money. They will sell them mother and them pitney and them soul for money. I swear. How can you there overseas? You know you can't travel gone away. But yet you collect plane fare money and money for come look after Britannia and put her in a hospital and so on. Why you never try to link up somebody in Jamaica to make sure say somebody who's already here to do that? No, because guess what happened? It is a way of just finding a reason to be collecting money from people. Make it make sense now. Have a heart now. Yet when it was all found out, them come out so wrong and strong like they were entitled to do so. Me say not even Gilbert the hurricane strong like them. When the whole thing bust out on social media, many people were shocked. But I could smell it from a distance that Britannia was never the first thing on their mind. Chances are Britannia probably would have maybe gotten a thing. But there was no plan to come to Jamaica when you know you can't fly go to Jamaica. To make Britannia go to the hospital to look after her. That's so wicked that. But yet still, when it was realized that Zozo, that is Britannia man, was looking after Britannia, he's the one taking her to hospital, and people start to direct their attention to Zozo and send money to him, send funds to him, whatever they can to him, so at least he's able to run up and down. Because in Jamaica it take money. Him not drive, have to pay a taxi fare, you have to go here, there, traveling up and down, you have to buy credit, internet service, everything, it takes money. So people were redirecting their finances and support towards him to help Britannia because we see him doing the work. Hell, the he, she, them come out and start tear down Zozo. So he might take the money for himself and he might do this and that. Please, what were you guys doing? Eh? And Shay? Shay is the person. What were you doing? That's what you were doing. Taking the money and go to your body, you pay down one deposit, and when you're done collect Britannia money, you go pay the rest and pay for your stay, wellness stay and all of them something there. Remember karma, you know, some of you some things that go drop on you later in your life. And I go wonder what is for me. A karma, you know, crosses when you follow you know. You take something that was meant to be good and turn it into something else. Then turn on a fight against Zozo actually doing something. So what happens if Zozo get a thing out of it? What happens if Zozo benefit him not to eat food, he not drink? We know say man a millionaire. But the good thing about it, we can see that Zozo have a good heart and he wants to know that Britannia is taken care of and she's well. Whether it gonna give him status or put him up on the charts on TikTok or social media, he would have worked for it anyway. It doesn't matter. The thing about it is that people and well-wishers from their heart wanted to see Britannia get the help that she needed. Because you can tell she have a good heart, you know. Yeah man, you can, in the beginning how she was acting and all of that, you can tell say she have a good heart towards people and she trusting. So people would have catch on that little part of her before she get all toxic and so on and thing. I will know she not well as well. So they are happy to know that somebody is there looking after Britannia and looking out for her. It is a welcoming feeling. We're happy for that. So we don't care if him get something from it. Because we can't jump and go do it ourselves. It would have cost we to go up and down and do stuff. So if him can do the footwork and he can get money, can pay tax if he want to sit down and name one lobster or he want to get something out of it, he might put in the work. So it is in payment. But guess what happened? My grandmother they said thief never likes a thief carry a long bag. So she come out and making this whole thing, but yet still she forgets say the more the monkey climb, the more it exposed. And then we eventually find out that all this money that she collected it to go and do her body. It was never for Britannia. Evilness. Evil. Because really and truly, all she fussing about, the she, is that she not going to get no more funds at the level that she was getting it when she was using Brit name. All of a sudden, she trying to get in touch with the mother for Britannia. She trying to get in touch with brother. She trying to get in touch with sister to tell them so they must go there, whatever and so on and thing. But guess what happened? In all she doing what she really trying to do is if she can channel back the people them to send money to her so she can say she send money to them. And has she sent any money to them? I know they not get dollar. One bag of chatting and there and hasn't done anything. So at the end of the day, it's still what Zozo has done. You understand? And congratulations to the people that actually reached out to Zozo and supported him. They are the ones that are actually doing something with Zozo to make sure that Britannia is okay. You guys, us, we are her family who is actually sending a bit of support. One quaker full back, everybody do a thing, and it turned into actually doing something splendid for her. She out there giving off the impression like, oh, Zozo and money, my look. So what? At least we know some of it is going to look after Britannia, and that's all we want. No one is so fool as to think he was not going to get something out of it for himself. But the trans Ishi knew it couldn't fly to Jamaica and still collected money and using Britannia name. That's not a good look. Sometimes I wonder how so much of you people don't use no common sense and allow these little airbrain people to scam and convince of some stuff. For the life of me, I don't understand. You know what I think it is? It's like when certain people give in, everybody want to be giving to make it say, oh yeah, I give too. It's like they want a hype out of doing it. As long as a hype is there, only don't really sure or try to make sure that it is for the purpose that it was meant to be for. One thing I can tell you, is that social media really show the dirty lives that people live in and how toxic people are. I would never believe in my wildest dreams that people, much less so much people, could really live like that. That's not living. That's existing. Constantly in survival mode. Can drown anytime. These people do not have a clue what it means to really be happy and contented. They are all moments away from a stroke, from a fight, from being taken out, from taking out somebody, from totally crashing out to mental health. How you lot do this every day? Damn, I'm not even trying to understand it, honestly. Anyway, fast forward 3 weeks now since Britannia is in the hospital. Information is there is great improvement with Britannia. She's taking part in activities at the hospital. She's smiling more, giving jokes as usual. She loves chat. They still holding out no phones with internet access until her treatment is completed, because they feel that somehow her going on social media will trigger that stress mode and she's not completed her treatment as yet. Now the doctors believe Britannia is incapable of making decisions for herself, so family members have stepped in. I can't wait for Britannia to come tell us how that went, because she and her family members don't get on well at all. I so hope they're not taking advantage of her things, and I hope they are doing what they are supposed to do, because you don't know so Britannia is going to come belch it out on social media if them thief nothing, what them do and where them not do, and what them trouble for from what they not trouble for. Right now, she's not in charge of herself. So I figure based on how serious her situation was, and she's a bit stubborn because I get inside information, she's going to take a little bit more time, but eventually we're going to see her again, because so Britannia ain't staying far from social media as soon as she's free up. So guys, let's continue to pray for Britannia Goffe and let's continue to wish her well. And anywhere we see we can continue to support her, just support her with what you can. Nobody is saying to do what you can't afford to lose. Just be there as humanly possible. Well, we know that she's coming back to TikTok, which is a whole pile of mess. I wonder every day, how did it get there? Trust Jamaicans to turn anything meant for good into evil. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.